The Vancouver Canucks have signed goaltender Jacob Markstrom to a 3-year extension. Now, how this is going to go down is that 3 years at $11 million, that's a 3.67 average annual value. I'm here on General Manager. It shows up that next season is actually the last year of his current contract, and that is a $1.55 million cap hit. Then after that year, 2017-2018 is when this new contract extension starts. He'll get $3.4 million then. The next year in 18-19, he'll get $3.6 million. Then in 2019-20, he'll get $4 million. So that's an average annual value of $3.67 million a year. Now, what does this mean for the future of the Canucks? Well, Jacob Markstrom is a young guy, but he's not that young, you know. He's a guy that was drafted a little bit earlier. He's 26 years old, drafted in the second round, I believe, by the Florida Panthers, taken by Vancouver after that Luongo trade. This is kind of an interesting situation, but it's a great situation at best, because the reason they signed Markstrom to this amount and for this term, the term really does make sense, but the amount, you know, some people might be saying 3.67 is a bit too much, and, you know, I can totally agree why they say that, you know. Markstrom, he's a guy that in his past 5 seasons of playing professional hockey in North America, he's only played 83 NHL games, which is a bit shady. He played 33 games this last season with the Canucks and 2 games last season with the Utica Comets, but other than that, he is a guy that Vancouver fans are really starting to like. His consistency has grown. He's been working really well with the goaltending staff that the Canucks have and the Utica Comets have as well, and really he's just a guy who's going to get better and better, because, you know, goalies, they don't usually hit their prime until they're in their late 20s, and Markstrom, he's a 26-year-old guy who definitely has room to improve. And the reason they signed the term 3 years, this is the big idea here. Thatcher Demko, the amazing goaltender prospect who was highly praised when he was drafted by the Canucks in 2014. He's highly praised now. A lot of people are saying he's going to be the next Corey Schneider, the Boston College goaltender who just signed a professional deal with the Canucks organization. He will definitely be getting games played in Utica next season. And really, there's a whole bunch of talk saying that Demko is one of those guys who could potentially grow at an expanded rate training with the Utica staff, especially with Rolly Melanson. Then you got yourself Dan Cloutier, who proved very, very successful when training Jacob Markstrom. And really, Vancouver just has solid goaltending right now. Miller, of course, is getting a bit older, and Markstrom, those have been the 2 goalies that have been transferring back and forth. Really, you could say that they were bad last season. I don't say that. I say that the Canucks team in front of them was pretty bad, but the individual performances themselves of Miller and Markstrom, they were a good tandem. I enjoyed watching them, and I think that they were fairly solid in net. And what this is going to mean, this 3-year extension, is Demko is going to play a year in Utica. His next year is going to be in Utica. I think that he and Richard Bachman will probably split the games, just like Markstrom and Miller did with the Canucks this year. Just that that whole switcheroo thing will be going down with the Utica Comets for 16-17, and that will be Richard Bachman and Thatcher Demko. Then the season after that, this is where things get interesting. This is when I believe Thatcher Demko will be able to step into this league, the NHL. I think this is when Miller's contract expires, so he's going to be gone. And Thatcher Demko, he'll have the opportunity to step up. And for 3 years, starting in 2017-2018, Markstrom will be under contract for $3.67 million. And this is when we can have the tandem of Markstrom and Demko. It's a good system. The only thing to worry about is Demko's entry-level contract, but, you know, he's just signed it recently. We're not gonna have to worry about that for a while. So that's how I see things playing out. In a perfect world, this is how I see things playing out. Bachman and Demko are the Utica guys for this upcoming season. Miller and Markstrom remain the Canucks guys. Then next season, in the 17-18 season, that's when Demko's going to get the big raise up to the Canucks. Miller's going to be gone because his contract is expired, and we're going to keep Markstrom for that $3.67 million deal. And If I had to guess, this is how I think that the whole thing would go down when it comes to Canucks goaltending and as well as Comets goaltending. The Canucks also have Michael Gartig in their goaltending system. He will most likely start in the ECHL. The Canucks got a new ECHL team, the Alaska Aces or whatever. So Michael Gartig will probably get some starts there. Richard Bachman and Demko will be in Utica, and then Markstrom and Miller up here. But what do I think about the signing in general? The extension for Jacob Markstrom? Good term. The average annual value is a bit sketchy. You know, you could ask why did he get a bit too much, but I think that it's fine. I think that for Markstrom's current and upcoming position on the team for years to come, I think that $3.67 million is a fair value. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're pausing, because now it's saying gaming, and bye.